Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan if this is your first time here. And we are not playing Minecraft today. We are switching to Satisfactory. I'm still dealing with some behind the scenes issues, trying to roll the Citadel server up to 1.20.4. So we are playing Satisfactory. And I was having a good time yesterday playing Satisfactory and we didn't quite finish what we were doing. So hopefully this will all make sense. So we left off putting in wire with double output, and I believe that this is all hooked up now. We just have to make sure that this is going to have a place to go before we actually bring in the copper ingots underneath. And we will also be adding in more along here. So the first thing I need to do is double check to make sure that I have enough inventory to actually build this. Hey look, my red light thing is back. That's cool. Let's put that in the lighting organized category. And then we need production, double output, and I need at least 9. Why do I need quartz crystal for that? That seems weird. What does that, what uses quartz crystal? Oh, the lights on it, right. Holy nuggets, we've got MindTripMedia kicking off the stream with 100 bits. Thanks ever so much, MindTrip. And Cosmic Dancer joining in with 1,000 bits, to which Twitch has added 100 bits because there's a promotion on right now where Twitch will add 10%. And there's an additional complication of something over 500 bits that gets like a random increase from Twitch that's 10% or more, but I've yet to see it. Word Nerdify, good to see you. Cosmic, as soon as I started saying that, I realized my error. And I was like, I should probably clarify. The old podcaster enunciation took over. Which I had a hard time with today. We had a great conversation with Archeoplays on a new episode of the Spawn Trunks that'll be actually going out over the holidays because we're pre-recording so Johnny and I can have a little bit of a vacation. And I was feeling off my game, so to speak. Caught Joel early today, is JPrice. Usually catch him after 30 to 60 minutes. I am starting late today, so neither one of us are, well, you are neither early nor late. I am late. I had a long recording this morning. That's why I delayed the stream. And we also have a sub from Word Nerdify. Tier 1, 17 months. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Cosmic Dancer gifting 3 months of Tier 1 to JPrice. Thanks very much, Cosmic. I think you're already in the Discord, Jay, but if anybody that's out there that has a sub or a gift sub is not, then you can join the Discord. That brings the hype train that kicks off the stream to level 1.5. Thanks so much, Cosmic. I really appreciate it. All right, so this just has to be laid in a few more times. I think I can worry about the connections after. Should be one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no. One more, one more. I should have changed those before I did anything. There's 10. We are not going to have a lot of room over here to run belts. That's one thing. MindTripMedia gifted a sub. That went out to Wobbly Prime. Thanks so much, MindTripMedia. That's amazing. Thank you. Hioni, good to see you. Leaguer Gaming coming in with 300 bits. Thanks so much, Leaguer. Almost to level 2 on that hype train. So the reason I'm doing this with 2 outputs is because we have to mix and match and combine these belts to better balance them to go into different directions later, and it's better to merge. Like if I needed 2 of these belts and 1 of these, then it would be easier to merge the 3 than divide the 2 and merge the 3. So it just cuts down on the steps to not merge them coming out of the machine at first. That's why we're doing it this way. And now I just have to... Oh, this is already coming in down here. Right. That will feed that one, and then it just continues on. Right. That's another 300. Gonna go in here. So now we just have to hook this up, and for that I think we'll start over here. And first things first, let's just change this. That'll be good enough for now. This will go into there. And that will go into there. And that should be 150 the whole way down. I'll double check that math. 15 in. 15 in times 10, 150. Mark 3 does 270, but a Mark 2 only goes 120, so... The outputs we will have to mess around with. And another Word Nerdify sub went to Glacius71. Thanks very much, Word Nerdify. That's very kind of you. JGaff, hello, I'm a lurker and started to miss the Minecraft videos. So come you're mostly Satisfactory lately? Because, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, we're waiting for some mods to update to 1.20.4. And my Minecraft has always been pretty much on weekends. Whenever I get extra games, I tend to play them during the week. Because Minecraft weekends tends to be the big... That's when most people are around. That's the big draw. And there's a new Minecraft video that goes up on my YouTube channel whenever it comes through on the VOD, so you can always go watch those. I mean, if you've watched the stream, it'll be the exact same content, but if you've missed a stream... Oh, what am I short on? Beams. Encased beams. But yeah, I've always tried to branch out and be more than just a Minecraft player, because I find that if that's all you ever do, then that's all people ever expect. And then it becomes harder and harder to branch off and do other stuff. I think I mentioned yesterday that I'd like to try and play some other games on stream over the holidays too. Patrice Patoons, fantastic username. Welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I wonder where I could put this hypertube where it might make more sense. All right, and these we've got to move to accommodate the fancy stuff I want to do. So I'll put these in first, I guess. And I'll do these last because I have to do the power first, and these things squirrel all over the place. One, two, three, four, five. It's nice having done these 3 or 4 times now because it becomes a lot faster. Tried to search for Joel's Discord server, but it's not coming up. Yeah, you gotta connect your Discord and your Twitch accounts, and then look for Joel Duggan on your Discord connections tab. That's usually the way that it ends up going. That's connecting down through that way, which I don't like. So let's run the wire here. And that should remove the need for this hanging one here. And I guess I don't really need both of those. So let's go with connecting that to that, and then just removing these two. Now we just connect the power. It does really help to plan things out in advance rather than having to just do it all from the hip. I find that you end up redoing a lot, and as fast as it is to rebuild in this game, I feel like it's better to just have it all planned ahead of time. I think the one thing I'm bad at in that regard is planning where the power is coming into the building and how it's being managed. But I guess I can cut myself a little bit of slack, seeing as that those tools didn't exist when we were coming up with these builds. So there's a certain point where you just can't plan for the things that they haven't released yet. Alright, so that should only need the 600 copper. The issue is that if I cut off this 600 copper downstairs, I'm going to need to figure out a replacement to send that copper to... I need to replace this line here, because that goes to our aluminum right now. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to take this, send it upstairs, and then I'll take this one here, which is currently upstairs, right there. That is going to have to go somewhere else. So that is coming through over here. And so what I'll do is I'll probably take that and send it downstairs. Maybe in the middle. Don't know how to do that smoothly. I guess we could just run it along the back. The plan was for these to be on floor holes. Hate to sub and run, says Word Nerdify, but I have to focus on work. No worries. Thanks for the work and the lurk. And thank you ever so much for the support, Word Nerdify. It's always good to see you. And I really appreciate that you take the time to come by and support the channel. Then I guess we'll just do this for now. That's kicking out 300, right? And those ones are being fed by Scavenger. Okay. Well, that's good. That'll work. That'll be going down. Hopefully it'll actually connect. And then from here, we'll have to send that out. I guess we'll switch this up to be a middle. And we'll switch this one. I'll leave these here just in case I need them in the future. So we'll do 3. Now this may or may not work. Oh, it does. Awesome. And it'll be just a matter of switching this bottom one. And we'll just weave it over and connect it to this, and that should be good. So it'll be a simple simple connection. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, weird. When it turned when it... Huh. Didn't know that was going to happen. So that'll be the new connection there. And then I just had to hook up the rest upstairs. A bit of a snake right now. The way that this is hooked up here might change. But it seems like it's the easiest way to do this. Oh, weird. I thought that would have been straight in. I guess not. Mark 4, and then outside here. We just need to make sure this is connected through here. And we should see that go down. There we go. Model hasn't connected. But now that we have that hooked up, we should be able to just delete this and connect this to that, and very little interruption would have happened. So that's good. So what I should do here is put a little bit of a sign. This is copper. Main bus. Aluminum. Actually, I'll have to say what it's going to aluminum. 300 a minute to the bus, and 60 per minute for aluminum. All right. I'm just going to go double check to make sure that it is 60 per minute. JPrice, sometimes it actually takes a minute for Twitch and Discord to talk to one another too, so that could have been it as well. Thanks ever so much for that hype train, folks. I really appreciate the support right off the top of the stream. It's a really great way to start a Friday. So here's our fancy and interior decorated aluminum factory, and this is only at 60 per minute, so this has to be, yeah, 10 times 6, 60. Good. How are we doing for efficiency in here? These are at 100. That means they're getting all the things that they need. Flowing very well. I like it. This obviously is not going to be a full belt because it's not quite making that amount. And that means this should all be flowing very nicely as well. A little bit of a stutter there, which is weird. It's usually the machines on the end that cause problems, if any. They're all empty, so that's good. There's no backup, no backlog. Don't know why these would be stuttering though. Cool. Looks good. I don't want to get distracted by troubleshooting aluminum again, so we're just gonna walk on. Oh, that's the wrong way. It is pretty fancy. I'm quite happy with it, actually. And they all come out here. I wish we had more belt speeds. Like, I wish we had different belt speeds, like 30, 90. It would be really nice if they were all multiples of 3. Are they? Wait a minute. Yeah, they are. Okay. Oh, thanks, JPrice. Yeah. I mean, it helps that I've got 1,000 hours, or 1,100 hours really, in this save. That helps tremendously. Alright, so before we actually hook this up to the goodies, we have to make sure that the output is going to be scrapped somewhere. And so temporarily we have to create yet another series of these smashers, but I need this space. So we need, I think I'm going to create like a temporary floor, maybe just up here. It would be good to kind of measure where we want the ceiling to be anyway. So maybe I'll just grab one of these. And I'll put this in along here. And I guess we'll go to about here. They only need 2 blocks, right? Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll try to line them up so that they're in line with what we need. That's going to be the easier way to do this. Probably face them that way. That's for that one. I guess we'll try... This is just going to be a temporary thing anyway, so I'll also put this over this way. Or maybe I should put them all over here. We don't have a tight roof. Out of concrete. I'm out of all the things. So after we get this copper sorted, I'll have to start building the assemblers for the stators and the rotors in order to figure out where we're going to send it. I don't know where I had the extra cable. I think it's over here somewhere. Yes. Don't need that many. Oh no, where will we get the things? Yeah. Again, it's just that nice end game or mid game when you've got enough automated that you don't have to really, you don't want for anything. We do have a shortage on things like steel, and there's a couple of other things that are not quite where I want them to be. Nope, autosave. So this will replace the two that we've got going and increase the others. So what we'll do here, this is 600 per minute, so that's only one belt. We'll have to combine these somehow. And I think the easiest way to do that is just going to be to put our merger. I didn't line that up very well, but that's fine. Put a merger over here. And then I think I'll just put lifts on these. Oh, I thought that was high enough. I guess not. So these would obviously be going off to the next factory, but to keep them flowing, we have to sync them for now. And I guess I should have done that to a different one. So we'll have to bring these two along this way. Yeah, I should have sunk those to the different one. That's fine. So here, we'll just take this and put a lift in here. I just realized I forgot to put a Mark V on the other belt. I am really terrible at judging the right height today. So I can just remove this. Same thing here. And that gives us free and clear space over here. Because we're going to need this space to make the cable. Eventually. I just have to hook that up. And that was just that was the mess that I have over here. That's not going to work. Let's do a little bit further. So this is just because I want things to continue smoothly while we set up the next factory. Realize that has to be a Mark V. Mark IV, Mark IV. Alright, that should all be good. And I think we did the output on this, right? Like we did all the fancy stuff. I mean, this is why we troubleshoot it, to see what's going on. So first thing is to connect the replacement for aluminum, because aluminum is flowing so smoothly. I do not want to mess it up. And that is downstairs. That's already done, right? Yes, that has been hooked up. Aluminum is now coming from there. So all we need to do, actually this has been backed up. So what I need to do is remove this and that, and hook in this. And I will make this look better later on. So that goes up into there. It should go what was I gonna do? Oh right, this was going to trade off. We need to trade off these bits here. So this goes away, and then gets fed that way, and then this one just gets rotated. That shouldn't be that way. Why is that not connecting? Oh, because it wasn't a floor pipe. Right. I follow. So that goes there, and then there. So that's kind of a cool visual. I mean, you can't see it with the light, but we've got 2 rows going up and 1 row going down. I might try to use that in the future. That's kind of fun. I wish that connected. I wonder if I removed it and replaced it, if it would come back. Nope, it's just being dumb. Okay. That should have replaced the 600 here. And then this should be feeding these machines. Although we're not seeing any output, so I've missed something somewhere. Aha! The final connection. Good. Is this going the way that it should? Getting stuff slowly. That's getting nothing. That could just be the end of the manifold. Not seeing anything back up. You can't see the lifts, unfortunately, so you can't really see when machines have stuff go into them. Looks like it's all going. Just have to let it ramp up, I guess. Don't see any red lights, so that's good. That's a lot of wire being destroyed. $221 coupons. We use Awesome Sinks a lot. The final connection. Yup. Alright, I don't see any glaring problems. We'll have to let this run for a bit to see if there's anything that's going to back up. But it looks like we have to update our spreadsheet as to where things are coming from. So, the thing that I adjusted was I took the copper ore that's coming in from the scavenger line. And this is really slow. Don't know why that's skipping around. Oh, because it's probably not load balanced. That's probably on a 780 belt. That's why. Oh, wait a minute. This needs 30 times 5. That should be 300 a minute. That's a Mark V belt. Yeah, so that's... Okay, we'll have to go check to see what's going on there. I'll do that after my break. I feel like the sun's going down, sort of. Yep. Okay. So then, in the meantime, we can look at this and say that the scavenger, that's this one here. Smelter row number 1. I believe that's what it is. Yep. So that's going 300 copper ingots per minute. And that is just going to the main bus. And then we've got, oops. This is doing 60, going into all clad sheets, and then this would be 240. And that's going to awesome sync. Because that's the end of the production line. And this is not being merged at all, so that's not happening. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is not happening at all. We've got no copper ingots coming into constructor base 6. That doesn't make any sense. I really have to do a nicer way to get upstairs now too. So that's 5. And that's 6. So 5 and 6 are now being powered by refineries. And they're being powered by this left-hand side. Sorry, fueled by. And this left-hand side stays left. And that's 1 and 2 down here. So row 1 and 2 are not going to 2 and 3 anymore. They're going to 5 and 6. So I've got that mixed around. Unless I just rename the rows. That would be the easier thing to do. I've not done this in game. So I could start with 1 being unused. That'd be the easiest thing. I have a sign. Nice big 2-meter sign. Where does that go? Maps to the front. Let's put it here. Feels weird not to have run 1 working, but it might be easier for the spreadsheet. Or I guess I could just reverse the order on the spreadsheet. That could be fine too. So I'll put this row, I guess. Oh, I've got them labeled with the power things, I guess. So they were labeled. Very small. Easier to see this way. I wonder if it'd be better to do a colored background. And then do white for the numbers. Oh, that's easier to read. I'll do that. There's so much that you could do and have fun with this kind of labeling in the game. So 5, 4, 3, and then 2, 1. That's not even lit, and it's much brighter. Sweet. You could also do the reverse with like a white background and just colored letters. That would work too, or numbers. Alright, so number 1 is... It's 1 and 2 that are combined? Yes. That's 1 and 2. And I've already established that 1 and 2 go up to 5 and 6. 5 and 6. So the easiest way to do that would just be to relabel things here. Just do 1 there, 2 here, and 3, and 4. So 1 and 2 merge, that's correct. That goes up to bay 5 and 6. But what happens is this. We split them. This becomes 300. This becomes 300. This does not exist. And so right now, this is going to be going out, and this is actually working, so have that hooked up. 2 of those. And right now they're going to awesome sinks. But we will have to send them to rotors eventually, because we've got 1200 coming in through here, but we have to give another 300. But yes, you're right. I gotta check the. It is indeed time for a break. So that's good. Normally I don't go into that much detail, but it's a really complicated building, and I feel like it needs it. I know it's not the most exciting stream, probably looking at a spreadsheet, but I feel that people that play Satisfactory that might get lost or overwhelmed might be able to pick up a couple of tips and tricks. So we'll grab the break train. I'll go on a little break here, refresh my drink. Feel free to let other friends know that I'm streaming, and we'll see you in just about 5 or 6 minutes. Slam on the brakes just in time for sunrise. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Cosmic. Baroness, hello. Welcome back. I see you found our way into the Discord. Alright, so we had hooked up and correctly labeled the fact that refineries row 3 and 4, or sorry, 1 and 2 power 5 and 6. We've got 3 and 4, which merge at the top and then split, and they do bay 2 and 3. And I need to double check that. So refineries 3 and 4 do bay 5 and 6. There's 3 and 4. So 4 comes out here. 3 joins it here. And then this is the bottom. The bottom just becomes the right. The right travels up and stays on the right. And it gets brought into here. And that 600 powers bay 2 and 3. So 3 and 4 merge, split, 2 and 3. 3 is going straight into an awesome sink. Correct? Actually, I'm going to copy that because I'm going to need that in a second. So 3 is going into an awesome sink. And then 2 should be merged with 1A and B to create the wire we need for stitched iron plates. So 2 merged with 1A and B to create wire for stitched iron plates. So that's not... This all is incorrect for copper ingots. This should be wire. Future Joel would be confused. And does it make 600 wire per minute? That's what each bay makes, right? This one is going to be 600 wire, but it's going to be on 2 belts. And this is going to be 600 wire. It's going to be on 2 belts. And constructors in bay 4 are fed by a different beast. Four is way down here. Yeah, that's fed by this one here. So there's 4. It's also going to an awesome sink. And it's fed by the second row of smelters. Yep, that's what's happening there. And then this is smelters in row 1. We've already checked that this is going to the main bus and this is going to all clad sheets and awesome sinks. Okay. So then this is the only thing that's not hooked up yet. So I can say 32 of 40 functioning. Rows 1, 2, 4 on. Row 5 is off. Okay, I think that works. So the only thing I need to check now is just the balance on the train for scavenger, because this belt felt really sluggish. So something is obviously up here. So scavenger copper 300 per minute. That's what we need to check. Hindsight is 20/20. But I still say it's a bit fuzzy. But looking back is still a bit fuzzy. Yeah, that's fair. It's a song lyric? That's cool. The one that my dad used to say all the time was, I see, said the blind man, until he picked up a hammer and saw. I thought that was pretty good. Scavenger, you are bringing in copper. At what rate? A lot more than 500 per minute. Or 300 per minute. What is the mine out there? One normal node overclocked to 300 per minute. That's what a normal node does, right? Pretty sure. Do I have any other normal nodes right nearby? I do. There's a copper node right over here. I don't even remember what that copper... This is one of the copper nodes we're currently using. Yeah. So copper node overclocked to 300 minute is the normal node. So I've got to go check, I guess, the train? Because those are both Mark IV. That should be fine to empty that. It's bringing in 302 items per minute. The belt just looks a little bit funny. So it's not the train problem. It's my output underneath that's probably not balanced. So I'm going to leave this as a Mark V belt, but what's happening is that this is trying to pull 780 out of this, and so it's backing up. So what I need to do is make that 300, and that's difficult to do. 270 and half of a 60. That doesn't work either. $270 and 120 is only, yeah, that's 390. 120 and 60. How can I do this? I've got the right rate coming into the train station. It's that this is pushing too much. See, I did it over here where it balances everything out, where it should balance everything out. So the way that this is supposed to go is that each one of these is supposed to be 600. And that's a Mark II, which is 120. And then this is a Mark IV, which is 480. So that makes 600. And yet the belt still stutters a bit, so I don't know what's going on. This one is going smoothly, right? So, I wonder what's going on upstairs with those numbers. The front one that's stuttering, right? Yeah. $487. $596. So this should be... How is this doing less and still stuttering? That seems bizarre to me. Alright, we'll check that coal line too. But I could do something very similar to what I've done there. I just don't know how to get the numbers down to 300. I mean, either way, a 480 belt would be better than what's there now. If I bring out... $120. I could feed it back into itself. So if I did 270 and 270, 540. Man, the trains are loud. That's 390. $330. $180. So 540 is probably the better way to go. Or unless I do 120. I have to take off 90. No. So then 540 minus 120. It's 420. So then I could take off the two 120s. Okay. So this is going to be 2. I need my other pack here. So we're going to bring off 2 belts that are 270. We're going to combine them. How did I do that? Pretty much right up against it. So we're going to combine 2 of these. This is going to be a Mark III. Right, so 1 and 2, it'll be 540 coming out here, and then we'll take a splitter. And send them back. So that's going to be more complicated down here than it needs to be. I need to send them back in. So a 540 belt would be Mark V. And then we'll take... Well, this will just split it 3 ways evenly, won't it? That won't work either. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'd have to split it twice. So I'll have to take 120 off the back. And then this will go out with a new belt I have no idea if this is going to work. Oops. That's 420 coming off here. And I have to split another one. How did I screw up my hotkey? I have to pull another 120 here. Probably easier with a lift. And then this will have to get merged and somehow end up back over there. Yeah, so we'll have to have a merger. This is a crazy amount of load balancing for this one thing. Merger there. And then we just have to put a merger here. $120 and 120 is 240. And then we just have to bring this down again. And then what I should be able to do is take a Mark III into there. Oh, that's not. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. At least do it right. Three. And then this becomes a Mark III. And then that stays Mark V, but it's only going to have 300 on it. So that should be a lighter load. So what's happening is we've got 270 and 270. They're combining for 540. I'm splitting 120 off of the 540 and sending the rest along. Then I'm splitting another 120 off of the 540, making this 300, and then sending it all back into the back here, so it kind of loops around a bit. And that should better balance that belt. I think that's what I need to do. Does that make sense, everybody? And just gonna make sure that's Mark II, that's Mark II, that's Mark II, that's 240, that's a 270 belt, so that should be fine. And then this is pushing, that should be a Mark V. So it doesn't matter that this is being a little bit stuttery. What matters is that, oh, now that's being stuttery again. These should only be taking out 270. $540. Oh, because this is backing up, I guess. So these don't have to be that speed then, if they're just trying to empty the thing above it. I guess one thing I could do is I could try to empty the container. It'll cause a little bit of a stutter. Oh, if I empty the container down here, that should solve the problem, right? Still comes in faster than it's going out. So yeah, there's a problem with my overflow system here. Does not do what I expected it to do. There's a very, very small gap, so that's good. I'll have to see. But yeah, it fills up faster. You want this to fill up faster than it can output. But I think that causes a problem with this balancing system. Because this is... Well, no, that's not stuttering. It's hard because I think there's some stuttering issues in the game with the actual belt animation, and it may or may not be an indication that you've got something going on that's wrong. The other thing is that my machines are full, I think, at the other end of this. And really this only needs to be a Mark IV. So that could be part of the problem too. So this is... It's a Mark V. Well, this... Yeah, it's bringing in everything. Mark V. But the supply should only be 300 per minute. I find it strange that they've done this with the belts in the game, is that the way that trains work is that the throughput is always 300 per minute, but the belts can carry more than that. So the one thing I can do is delete this. I imagine they're just going to fill up again. Yeah. There's still stuff coming in too fast. We don't have this problem with the other ones because they're not being fed by a... well, they're already full, but they're not being fed by a train. They're being fed by belts. Alright, well that was a crack at it. We'll see if that does anything over time. Which is one of the more frustrating parts about this. And the other thing I needed to check was that coal. Why is this coal jumping around? You're the coal that goes to aluminum. That's what you were doing. Why are you being silly? So it's the coal on the left. So that's you. So I guess it's just overfeeding the machines? They're at 100%, which I guess makes sense, but should be overflowing. It's nice that this is all running smoothly because, man, this took a while to go right. Oh, thanks, Cosmic. Yeah, I'm glad that the main bus is coming along too. All right, well, that's all of our aluminum doing 100%. So I don't know why the coal is being stuttery and weird. There's no overflow. Maybe it's just a belt thing? Because I've balanced it. I didn't see any issues with the belt anywhere. Mark 5, Mark 5. Yeah, I don't see any problems. Yeah, Mark 5 all the way through. Bright orange roof. So top coal, Mark 5. Mark 5 lift. Mark 5 belt. Yep, everything's Mark 5. Maybe it's just a simple case of that belt balancer that I think is working, not working. So this is this first one here. So that'll be pulling out 480. Oh, come on. 480 on a Mark 4, 120 on a Mark 2, combining to 600. And 600 is exactly what we need for that section. I wonder if I've got the belts crossed. And I've got 600 going to one and 480 going to the other. They're all doing 100% though. I think that's one of the things that's the most frustrating is there being visual glitches on the belts and then you don't know whether it's you've done something incorrectly or whether it's just a bug. Alright, well we can go back to copper situation. And I guess one thing I could do is I could work out a better way to get upstairs. But I also want to look at where all of this is going to go. Oh, did I forget to change the color of that? I think I did. The blueprint color on that is wrong. I can't remember what it is. I think it's... That's 7, 8. Yeah, so it's 7. I had the machines darker. I thought it looked better with the copper color. But then I used the aluminum blueprint to build forward, so I probably forgot to change the color of the foundations in the blueprint. Next time I'm down at that blueprint designer, to remember to change it back. And I have to admit, this part of the game is really fun, trying to get things colored and looking finished. It makes you feel like you've checked something off, you know? Whoops, not that. That's supposed to be gray. Hope I didn't do that anywhere else. Alright, sweet. So, we've got to figure out where these are going. So we know the wire is going out to stitched iron plates. We've got to combine... It doesn't have to be these two, but it has to be... So Bay 2 and Bay 3 doesn't have to be merged. We can merge any of these 3 or 4 to get the wire that we need. So we need 1500 wire going to rotors. And we need 400 wire going to stators. So I guess we should figure out where the stators are going to go and where the rotors are going to go in the next factory. Yeah, okay. That'll give me a better look at things. AVG Jonas, hello, welcome in. Happy Friday. Appreciate you coming by. So we've already got a start here, and I also have layout downstairs that I need to work with as well. So I could potentially have that happen down here. The idea here was to have the inputs coming up from below. What do these need? No, other recipe. 10 and 30 and 15 and 40. So it's always going to be a Mark 1. That's fine. Right, so then we have to figure out where that floor would be. And then if we could do another section below that, I think that would be doable. And the plan here was to have them both together, and I think the plan was to have this be open. But then I had to, if I wanted to mirror this, I'd have to squeeze into the side here and not have any walking room on that side. Or I could bring this closer together and have these go back to back in the middle and not have there be any space, and then we would have at least a little bit of space over here, like half a foundation. Or we could swing them around and face them this way. Every 4 takes up 5. This slice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really, we'd probably end up with a double row here. Right? So then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have a space in the middle. And I guess I just have to figure how many would fit in this direction. Yeah, so it's just a matter of trying to make this look nice, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, so we know 10 fits there. How did I start this? Right up on the edge? Like it goes over. Oh, I left them on the right lane. That's what it is. I think that's right. Yep. And then they would go out to a merger in the middle. And they're not going to be producing anything crazy. 5 per minute. 5 per minute, right. So it's very easy to handle. So then it's just a matter of how many can we fit this way. if we wanted to maintain some space. So we could still lose this wall. Have a wall here. Whoops. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Bays of 16. I think that's what we needed for stators, right? No, it was constructors. Need 50 of each. I need 50. And 50 doesn't go well divided by 8. I'd rather do rows of 10 or 20. That would be my preferred way to go, I think. And I guess we've got this odd chunk down here. Maybe we could, instead of putting another row, like another double row, we could use this chunk here to find like the odd 10 that we need. The other thing is that if we did need to break it up, we could have like, this would be 10 and 20, this would be 30 and 40, and we could just take one of these rows and split it off, right? Well, here's the other thing. They don't have to be making the same thing. We can have this be making rotors and this be making stators, and at the end of the line just have a smart splitter that sends one in one direction and one in the other. So we can totally do that. We just need, instead of 50, 2 bays of 50 or 2 looks at 50, what I should be thinking about is just getting the 100 in here. So we can fit 40 on this level, 40 on another level, and I'm sure we could fit 20 down here easily. Yeah, so then there's 20, 40, 60, not quite 80. Yeah, I'd rather have them in groups of 10. And I guess if I'm going to be doing this in a blueprint, I'm going to be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm okay with inching out here on the edge. Like, we can get ourselves some extra space out here. That's fine. We've already got it going on there. So we could space these out a little bit better so that the blueprint is nicer. I have a similar blueprint over here, actually. Very similar idea where they're both being fed inside rather than the other way around, but same idea. They are definitely more spaced out though. I don't think I did these on a blueprint. I think I did these by hand. Yeah, so we've got one here and then one in the middle, and that seems to be a nice even spacing. So the way to do it would probably be doing 2 at a time. Although that would be difficult. This is one of those blueprints we might have to do without the concrete in it. All right, so we know like this is just a top copy. So we've got 40 for sure. 20 here, 20 downstairs. And then maybe here, instead of doing 2 together like this, we can just do a row of 10. So we'll have this be in the same place. This just won't exist. And then that means that we can stick with this right here. Still gives us our 1 space here, 1 space there, and 1 space here. And then that way we can do 40, no, 20, 40, and then there's 50 here with an extra 10. And then down below, I mean, maybe down below we don't do anything. Maybe we just leave this as empty, and then we can put another 40, or maybe we can put another 10 down here. So 10 and 10, and then another row of, yes, that's 20, 60, no, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Because we could, the top level, we could do doubles, because we could expand this to have a wider, we've got room here, we've got refineries and stuff down here, but up here we've got the extra space. So it would be weird to shift things around. I guess we also have this extra space out here too that we could use. Like I said, I've got this thing where like I like things to be symmetrical. Oh no, there's 100 of these. I will absolutely do a blueprint. It's just a matter of figuring out how to fit the blueprint in the space. I mean, maybe I'm getting a little bit over concerned about this edges. Like maybe I should just have this thing come straight over, you know? Oops. And just not have a cavity wall between these two. I think that's fine. If we did anything, we could always make the door here. Would provide a really kind of odd situation here. I kind of feel like, well, we do have that to consider. We could just bring this down And then it would just be a box in here. You'd never know the difference. Actually, that wouldn't be there. Oh, I guess then we have to decide on what color that would have to be, because it would have to be the same color. That, or we could just do like a little cheat wall. Right, just have the two walls back up against each other like that. I mean, that's not the end of the world either. Anyway, that's the next thing, because what's happening is that all of the copper that we put together at the start of the stream here is going to be coming down. So rather than putting all of this copper, which I can't seem to fly around, rather than putting all of this here onto the main bus just to go next door, I want to try and create something cool where we can see it like come down here, and then we'll run it kind of like down into here or something, and then that will be either going downstairs or going to here and supplying these, because if this is, it needs 40 wire per minute for a stator, right? Yeah, 40 wire per minute. So that's 400 down that way. Did I do the math wrong on these stators? I did do the math wrong on these stators. Crap. I did the math based on 8, not 40. Whoa. We might be short on all kinds of things. Hold on. This is 40 and 15. $40 per minute. 15 per minute. Produces 5 stators. We need 250 stators. That's 50 machines. Right? 250 divided by 5 is 50. So then maybe my end numbers are right, but my little numbers are wrong. So 50 times 40. Crap. I think I did it wrong. I mean, the good news is we have the copper. That makes a little bit more sense, right? Because if this needs 30 wire per minute and needs 1500, why would this need less? It should need more, right? So then 15, we don't have enough steel for this either. $750. Yup. My maths is wrong. So this is supposed to be 2000. And this is supposed to be 750. And we only have 750 between the two machines. We've only got 770 coming out of those pipes total. So I'm going to need 1250. Crap. Well, that throws off everything. I mean, the numbers going down the pipe, down the line are fine, but yeah, that's not a thing we can do right now. So maybe I have to reduce. Well, I don't want to reduce the number of motors. Yeah, it's not so much the to-do list, it's the fact that then, while I know we're making a lot of wire, we may have to bring in a different way to make wire. We may have to bring in some Caterium wire or something. But really, I don't think that this would be a problem because we have another 300 copper ingots. That's another 600 wire. Right? That's another 1200 wire on top of what we have already. We've got 6, 12, 1800. We might even have the wire right now. Close to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2400. Yeah, we've got the wire. Or potentially we've got the wire. The problem is now I don't have enough steel. Because we're sending a good chunk of our steel pipe to be making heavy modular frames. Well, crap. Looks like I have to redo this section. All right, well, fair enough. I need to go anyway. It is the end of my broadcast day. Did a podcast this morning, streamed all afternoon. I think that's a solid Friday, if you ask me. I will be hopefully streaming again tomorrow at 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 3 hours? 4 hours. 4 hours now. Can't remember. Is it 3 hours? Cosmic, what's the time difference? It's currently 10 to 3. 10 to 4. 10 to 4 p.m. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. It's 4 hours now. Okay, cool. So 4 hours difference with Atlantic time to UTC. And we'll be back hopefully with Minecraft, crossing fingers. Now that I've got this bottleneck here in Satisfactory, it's probably a good time to switch ships and get back on the Minecraft train. You can listen to a new episode of the Citadel Cafe that came out yesterday. It is at thecitadelcafe.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Myself and Stephen ESC talked about Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix, which is a very, very good conversation. I also recorded the Spawn Chunks this week with Pixel Riffs. That's a new one out on the Citadel Cafe, the SpawnChunks.com, sorry. And thanks very much for all the wonderful support today with the gift subs and the tier 1 subs and the Twitch bits and all that stuff. It was really lovely. Cosmic, thank you for moderating. Appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now, folks.